welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that touches everyone's life, even if we don't always realize it: desire. More specifically, we'll explore the profound power that desire and sexuality hold within our unconscious. Have you ever truly stopped to consider the extent to which your desire influences your choices, your relationships, your decisions, and even the way you see yourself and others? Is what we call love, passion, or attraction merely a biological impulse? Or is there something far deeper at play within the mind? Carl Jung, one of the greatest names in analytical psychology, believed that sexuality wasn't just a function of the body. He saw it, above all, as symbolic, a language of the unconscious, an archetypal force that carries meanings, traumas, fantasies, and ultimately shapes how we live, love, and seek meaning in life. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. But don't worry, this video isn't about sex in conventional sense, nor is it about right or wrong, beautiful or ugly. Here, we're going to look at sexuality as a psychic energy, something that, when well understood, can be transformed into creativity, freedom, consciousness, and even spirituality. Before we dive in, please leave a like. It truly helps the channel reach more people who like to think outside the box. And subscribe if you haven't already. Every week, we bring you reflections on human behavior, practical philosophy, and deep psychology. Now, answer me one thing in the comments. Do you think desire controls us, or that we can control desire? I'm really curious to know how you see this. Comment below and I'll read everything. When we talk about sex, most people immediately think of something physical, instinctive, linked to pleasure or reproduction. But for Jung, sex goes far beyond that. It is a force born in the body, yes, but one that gains a much deeper meaning when we look at it through the lens of the unconscious. Number 1. Sexuality as archetypal energy and the language of the unconscious. Jung saw sexuality as an archetypal energy. This means it's not just a biological need, but a universal symbol present in all cultures, myths, religions, and human stories. It's as a desire or a language the unconscious uses to express itself, appearing disguised in our fantasies, dreams, searches, and even our anxieties. This energy, when misunderstood or repressed, can become chaotic, generating compulsions, conflicts, addictions, and frustrations. But when we look at it with awareness, it can be channeled into something much greater than just momentary pleasure. It can become art, insight, healing. This happens because desire is ultimately linked to the movement of the soul. It's what drives us to leave our comfort zone, to seek something, to get closer to someone, to create, to transform. It invites us to live with intensity, and at the same time, it confronts us with our shadows, fears, and insecurities. Number 2. Libido, the broader life force beyond mere sex. Jung believed that the sexual force is actually one of the manifestations of what he called libido. However, unlike Freud's purely sexual sense, for Jung, libido is a broader vital energy that can express itself in many ways: desire for a person, for an idea, for a purpose, for a transformation. The most interesting thing is that this energy can be transformed. It can change direction, form, and intensity. When you repress it, it doesn't disappear, it hides, disguises itself. But when you welcome it, listen to it, and understand what it's trying to say, it integrates. And that's where sexuality transforms from being just an impulse into a powerful tool for personal growth. It's as if desire isn't just trying to lead you out to someone or some experience, but also inward, to a place where you can truly find yourself, a place where desire becomes a bridge, not a prison. Number 3. Anima and Animus, the inner feminine and masculine projections. To better understand how this sexual energy works within us, we need to talk about two fundamental Jungian concepts: the anima and the animus. These represent the feminine and the masculine, not in the external sense of gender, but as internal archetypal images within our psyche. Within every man, there's an inner woman, the anima, and within every woman, there's an inner man, the animus. These are not simple characters. They are symbolic forms that profoundly influence how we relate to others and ourselves. They are projections of the unconscious that shape our feelings, idealizations, judgments, and even our choices. Think about it. How many times have you felt intensely attracted to someone who didn't even make much rational sense? Or idealized someone in an almost magical way, placing in them all the qualities you desired? as if they were your missing half? Often, you're not seeing the other person as they truly are. You're seeing a part of you that is hidden unconsciously, manifesting itself through desire. Jung said that love is often a kind of encounter with the unconscious, and if we don't recognize this, we end up living confusing, overly idealized, or even destructive relationships, because deep down, we're trying to find something outside that is actually missing inside. Number 4, the shattering of projections. From illusion to truth in relationships. Jung's most provocative idea here is that when we fall in love, we're often not truly loving the other person. We are loving a mirror, a reflection, a part of ourselves that was projected onto that person. This may seem strange, but these projections are not stupid illusions. They have a crucial function. The unconscious uses the other to reveal something that needs to be recognized, welcomed, and integrated within you. For example, if a man projects his anima onto a woman, he may be trying to reconnect with his own sensitivity, his emotional side, or a creative part that was forgotten. If a woman projects her animus onto a man, perhaps she is seeking strength, structure, or direction, not in the other, but in herself. The problem arises when we don't realize this dynamic. We begin to demand from the other what they never promised to be. We idealize too much, expect perfection, and suffer from expectations that can never be fulfilled. Love then becomes confusion, frustration, even pain. Jung said that the objective of the projection is precisely to be broken, because it is at this moment that you have the chance to remove this image from the other and reintegrate within yourself. It's when love stops being an illusion and begins to become truth. When you stop demanding that the other complete you and begin to complete yourself. Number 5, confronting the shadow, reclaiming hidden sexual energy. To reach deeper levels of awareness, there is a step many people avoid, the encounter with the shadow. For Jung, the shadow is everything we reject in ourselves, everything that was repressed, hidden, denied, either because society didn't accept it, family condemned it, or we ourselves couldn't deal with it. And sexuality tend to be one of the most hidden parts in this shadow. From an early age, many learn that feeling desire is ugly, forbidden, sinful, or dangerous. We push these feelings under the rug of the unconscious, but they don't disappear. They return as guilt, shame, fear, troubled relationships, and behaviors we don't understand. Jung said, "What you deny dominates you, and what you accept transforms you." When we start looking at our own sexual shadow, everything that was hidden, suffocated, or distorted, we gradually begin to regain control of our own energy. This process is uncomfortable, sometimes painful, but deeply liberating. It's not about indulging every impulse, but about listening to what that impulse wants to say, because desire also speaks. It reveals, it points to something asking for attention, often something you didn't even know existed within you. Number 6, the duality of the feminine, mother and temptress archetypes. Within the symbolic universe of the psyche, Jung observed that the feminine carries a powerful duality. On one side, the figure of the mother, the welcoming, protective archetype who nurtures emotional security. On the other, the temptress, the seductive, instinctive, free woman who awakens desire, risk, and transformation. These two archetypes exist in myths, religions, and fairy tales, and unconsciously, they shape our relationships, desires, and emotional crises. The mother represents unconditional love, surrender, comfort, and emotional grounding. But when this archetype becomes too dominant or unbalanced, it can lead to dependence, overprotection, and the erasure of one's individuality. The temptress carries the energy of passion, movement, and creative force. She is instinctive, magnetic, provocative, representing the power of awakening, but also the fear of losing control. Historically, this archetype has been demonized because it touches on what is most oppressed, the desire for freedom, intensity, and breaking away from what is safe. These two figures live within all of us, regardless of gender. When we learn to recognize and integrate this duality within ourselves, we stop living in conflict. This dance between nourishment and seduction, between care and freedom, is what makes a feminine so deep and transformative. Number 7, the sexual hero, from instinct to spiritual path. This entire journey of facing projections, integrating archetypes, traversing the shadow, and awakening the inner hero leads us to realize that sexuality was never just about pleasure or the body. It is, in fact, a bridge a bridge between instinct and spirit, between what drives us and what transforms us. For Jung, sexual energy is one of the most powerful forms of psychic energy, but it doesn't need to be confined to the physical plane. This same force, when recognized and channeled consciously, transforms into something greater: creativity, inspiration, and connection with the sacred. He introduced a figure of the sexual hero, not the stereotype of the stud or femme fatale, but someone who conquers himself. This hero goes through his own passions, faces his deepest and most confusing desires, and instead of getting lost in them, finds himself. This hero doesn't deny desire. He dives into it with awareness. He recognizes that desire could be a trap, but also a teacher, revealing our wounds, needs, and hidden longings. He learns to use this energy as a creative impulse, a healing force, a power of transformation, sublimating it into something that expands consciousness, art, real connection, and meaningful creation. It's clear that our modern culture has lost much of this profound perspective. Today, sex is often treated as a product, a performance, or a distraction, but the unconscious has not forgotten its deeper meaning. When we open ourselves to look at desire with more presence and less judgment, we begin to realize it is pointing to something inside, a call for expansion. It's not about denying the body. It's about going through the body until you find the soul. It's about letting instinct teach you, but not dominate you. It's about allowing yourself to feel and at the same time, learning to transform feeling into wisdom. When we live sexuality consciously, not only do relationships improve, but our whole life changes. You start to walk with more presence, more wholeness, more truth. You stop running after external fulfillments and start creating from the inside out. Jung said that human beings are fulfilled when they manage to unite opposites within themselves, and sexuality is one of the most direct paths to this, because it forces you to deal with desire and fear, with pleasure and pain, with instinct and spirituality. It is an invitation to grow, to awaken, to become more human and more whole. In the end, desire is just the beginning. What you do with it is what defines who you are.